Keep it on, keep it on. We got example 2 for a stem and leaf plot. So this time it's already been done for us. We're working on beginning to interpret it. So how many students scored less than 80 points? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that mark for 80, which I've already marked in blue. I'm going to kind of cut across it, whether in my mind or on paper. For now, it should always be on paper. And then I'm going to, since it's saying anything less than 80, I don't want to draw through it. I want to draw between the 7 and the 8 that indicate the 70 and the 80. And then I'm going to look up, and I'm going to count. Here we go again, marking the wrong thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 scores less than 80. Or 80 points, but 5 scores. All right, moving on to how many students scored at least 90. So we find that 9, and again, it's at least, so I don't want to go below it, so I'm going to draw a line between the 9 and the 8, indicating that between the 90 and the 80, and I'm going to look for anything higher, or in this case, below the 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 students scored at least.
Good afternoon, bus riders. At this time, if you ride any of the following buses,
90.
please head outside. Bus 32, 15, 47, 38, 18, 25, 11, and 1.
Keep in mind, this video is extended because of her, not me. Haha. So if you're riding those buses, get there. Kidding. Don't get out of your seats. Now, how are the data distributed? All right. So there's a couple of ways we could word this. We could word they're distributed evenly. And what we would mean by that, so we might need a little bit more words if we're going to say more than that, because at this point, if you're going to say it's distributed evenly, you better be able to explain to me what evenly means. And evenly means there's there's about or approximately as many below as above, or to the left as there are to the right of the middle. Now, if we notice here, 8 has the most, and 8 is in the middle of all of our scores. Then 7 and 9 have about the same amount, and 6 and 10 have about the same amount. And they're also just as far from 8 as each other, the 6 and the 10. Just like the 7 and the 9 were just as far from the 8 as each other. So that's what I mean by they're evenly distributed. There's just about as many. You can be off by a couple. But what you're really looking for, if you want the advanced answer, does it make a nice, even kind of curve there? If it does, and it's not leaning towards one side or leaning towards another, then it's evenly distributed. If we need more words than that, we would just say there's just as many above as there is below.
If you ride bus 14 or bus 29, please head outside. 14 and 29.
So both of those are ways that we could use to describe how are the data distributed.